the withdrawal of Americans and NATO from Afghanistan, and American consensus, and by the way, the Indian concerns because of all the investments that's already during these 20 years, infrastructures, dams, and too many things that we have. They have schools, academies, and so on. That already they put millions or billions of dollars in Afghanistan to gonna rebuild it after all these wars that we have in these regions, especially in Afghanistan with the Pashtuns. That's the Pashtuns from one side they are Pakistani, and from the other side they are Afghani, the Pashtuns. That's 40. I think it's 40% of the population in Afghanistan. They are Pashtuns, and right now I don't want to open this session regarding the 10 tribes, Jews, of 10 tribes that were expelled from Judah and Samaria to these places. They're going to have another session. They're going to speak about it. But all the countries in the region, I mean the Central Asia. It means from one side we have the China, we have the Pakistan, we have the south of Afghanistan, we have at the north they have China. They have a corridor from there that they can get even to Kabul. I think it's about 50 to 60 kilometers. This corridor from one side we see the what's that? Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and that were Soviet regimes before, and right now they're independent. It means that all are watching with a concern the intensification of the Taliban on the eve of the American withdrawal from the Afghanistan, and seizing it. So by walking, it means seizing the that they are. I would say. So what happened to all these American troops? What happened that at the night right away they got out of the place, and they couldn't get ready for that event. Whenever that you're putting $1 trillion during 20 years that you want to make nation making, that's they're secular, they're going to have westernized and modern culture and so on, that's going to be abandoned. The Islamic, the brainwashing and so on. We see right now that it's put away, and we have the withdrawal of the NATO as well, the American troops. I think it was 8 centers that have for the troops. Out of them, they got out there was about 13 or 14,000. Also evacuating also embassies, and during the 2019 and 2020, when the Trump was in power, they got to Doha. Before that, they were by the Pakistan. They tried to have negotiations with the Taliban, but Trump started the direct negotiations with the Taliban. That's where was made by CIA in confrontation with the Soviets during the 1978 to I think 2001 or 1998. The point is that whenever that Pakistan was the dealer and the one that made money out of all the supplies, out of the money, and the the weapons that got to kind of brainwash the Taliban. The Pashtuns were in their own borders, and to kind of send them to kind of confront, to kind of fight as a fighter against the Soviets. Also, there was a double standard of the Pakistanis. From one side, they got some money from CIA. Okay, great. Bringing up by their, the brainwashing schools, maktab, and so on. The Taliban that you have the jihad, that they have to confront the Soviets, infidels, kufrim, and you say. And from the other side, they made money to send and to promote and to bring up and regarding the Kashmir. It means that whenever that we're telling us that in this